What's happening, fandoms?
Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here,
We react to music videos and shows.
today we're going back to MONESKIN lead singer and frontman Damiano
yes.
and his interview on the Allison Hagendorf show. And this is the second half of this interview. Again, thank you to our fan Judith for giving us a music prompt for this through our Buy Me a Coffee program.
And we really appreciate it
We've
so much.
gotten more requests for more behind the scenes stuff with MONESKIN.
And more to
we're
come.
Excited to do those as well. So let's go ahead and cut right back in where we left off.
Here we go.
We're now accepting priority music requests through our Buy Me a Coffee account. You can find the link in the description below.
Send us the music prompt and we'll get to it right away.
Thank you.
I think that's amazing that you really strive to remain so grounded and so humble. And I think that that is the trick to remaining healthy.
Yeah.
I do. I'm glad to hear you say that
Agreed.
because
Relief feeling.
yeah,
But we're not like heart surgeons.
right.
Like we have to chill out.
I think that's amazing that you really strive to remain so grounded and so humble. And I think that that is the trick to remaining healthy.
Yeah.
I do. I'm glad to hear you say that because a lot of people get wrapped up in that and it's not real.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then it's sort of setting themselves up for disaster. I also think it's great that you have the band and you have each other. And I'm sure you guys kind of support and ground
balance
each other. You balance each other.
We balance
Yeah.
each other.
Talk to me about the
very tough.
dynamic. Yeah, I want to hear about that.
It's like we are four. So it's very different from a solo artist, you know? Because our managers, they're for all the four of us. It's not just for one. And same with the assistant and
great.
same with the stage crew, like whatever. We have to be able to split everything, and you know that everything that you ask for, you're taking one request away from the other member of the band. So like choose wisely what do you want and stuff like that.
That's
and
cool.
like with this dynamic where nobody wants to be like the mean one or the hard one, we got like so simple that now when we get asked like, what do you ask for your backstage? And we're like, we don't ask anything because
You're like water.
yeah, because everyone is like afraid of asking
Aw.
something because the other one might go, who you think you are, fucking Paul
That's-
McCartney? So there's this dynamic that keeps everything okay. Let's be easy for today because I don't want to get bullied, you know.
Oh, that's really great.
That's fun actually, and that's very useful.
That's pretty awesome.
And yeah, also not getting too much in the idea of like I'm a celebrity, I'm the best. Like every time we're like,
humble.
who do you think you are?
I love
Madonna,
that.
like,
yeah.
What the
It's
fuck?
so
they
great.
ground each other.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I love seeing all of the pictures of you guys. You always just look like you're having like a wonderful time together. I saw you recently. You were in Nashville rocking the cowboy
Yeah.
hats. I mean,
Nice.
okay, first of all, you guys all look amazing in cowboy hats. There's
Thank
that.
you.
And the picture with Dolly Parton.
Oh,
that was a moment.
yeah, that's
Tell me
right. They
about meeting
collab with
Dolly.
her.
Wow.
That was so fun. It was in the morning, so we were all like sleepy and like trying to, I don't know, act cool. And then she came out and she was so energetic and she had full glam, full makeup,
Full glam.
and this animalier corset. She was so like
Put
so
together.
much better than us that we felt like shit. We were 20 and we were struggling with that shit. And she's fucking 70 something. She's fine as
Gorgeous.
wine. Like
Wow.
she's crazy good. And then we
That's
played Jolene. We did our
wow.
own version of Jolene, and she listened to it. And she was like, "Oh my God, yeah, you played so good. You're singing it amazing, and thank you for not changing the lyrics." And I was like, "Of course, like who am I to change the lyrics?" And she was like,
Right.
"Yeah, there's a lot of dudes that change the lyrics because they don't feel comfortable." And I was like, once again, the thought of who do you think you are
Right.
that you're feeling it's enough to change the lyrics of Jolene,
Right.
the
Exactly.
most covered song ever ever. It has like 4,000 versions. Who do you think you are to change the lyrics? Like,
But she's right, though.
Talk about the best performer and songwriter, Dolly Parton. I mean, it doesn't get much better. I mean, she's the epitome of performance and songwriting, you know? I saw this really funny meme. It was like, Dolly Parton wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You in the same day, and I can't even get like my laundry done. You know, it's like something like she wrote both of those songs in the same day. I mean, talent like that.
Must have been a good day.
Yeah. I mean, is there anyone you look to that is just, you know, whether it's a songwriter or a performer or artist or or a fashion icon? I love your style, which I want to talk about as well.
Yeah, they have such a great style.
Are there people you look to?
Of course I do, but I have like a weird feeling for everything that came before, because there's this way of thinking that a lot of people have, is that if something is before the 2000, it's good. If it's after the 2000, it's not good. It's not like that, my dear audience. It's just that today we have these fucking phones and you can get information about everyone in every moment. So if you want to know about us, MONESKIN, you just type MONESKIN and you have everything, all our catalog, all of our photos. So you have everything at once.
Yes.
In the 70s, if you want to get a picture of Robert Plant, you got to go to the shop, buy the magazine.
He's
and
right.
maybe you get 2 photos of Robert Plant for the whole year.
Yes.
So of course you fucking fantasize about it. You idealize. You make you make them huge. They were fucking huge. The best band ever existed. But
by the way, same. Is Led Zeppelin your favorite band?
It's not my favorite band, but I think it's the greatest band ever existed.
Interesting. 2 different things.
Yeah. I think greatness is objective and taste is subjective.
I love that.
So we don't have this chance to be legendary.
Right.
Because we are pop. We are everyday culture. We are in people's everyday life. In the 70s, you couldn't go around with fucking headphones listening to Olivia Rodrigo all day. You have to go back home, buy your vinyl, take the vinyl on the fucking and listen to the vinyl, listen to the whole thing.
Yes, the entire album.
It's completely different. We are playing a completely different game. It's like it's like playing hockey and playing soccer.
Right.
It's
You're absolutely right.
2 different sports.
Unrelated experience, how people consume and experience music.
Right.
So like I try to look up at artists of my generation, and I think there are people that are crazy talented, like Billie Eilish. She's amazing. Olivia Rodrigo, she's amazing. Justin Bieber, he's a fucking talent. Like there's people that are considered like pop and mainstream, but they're actually getting into the culture and changing it, and people want to dress like Billie Eilish. Like kids want to dress like Billie Eilish. Kids want to be like Billie Eilish, and that's the same thing that was happening with Led Zeppelin and blah blah blah. It's just that today you want to be like Billie Eilish, but the day after you see a photo of, I don't know, Olivia Rodrigo, so you want to be like Olivia Rodrigo, and the day after you see MONESKIN, and maybe you want to be like MONESKIN. Like we overstimulate it, so we don't even have the time to get so attached to something. And I think in a way it's healthy, because you reduce the idolization of celebrities. Everything gets more normal. Like they have breakups, they have TikTok, like me. They do TikToks, they do TikTok dances to have fun. They have mental health struggles, and they cancel tours, and this song doesn't go so well. Oh my God, they fail. Like we're humans. And being in the everyday culture I think makes you more human in a way, and on the other way we're slowly becoming fucking canvas for people. So it's I think that people should be educated on how to use social medias and how to deal with celebrities and new things, and like the stimulation that the internet they give us, I think should be like a school subject.
I agree.
He's right though.
Absolutely.
Because nowadays there's a lot of haters. And there's a lot of things that people don't, they just comment things sometimes, and
Sure. So that's a very negative aspect of social
part
media.
of it. Yeah,
but
that's a negative.
Even the overall concept of social media. I think what he's trying to say is that you can consume as much as you want.
Right, like you used to.
You can literally spend every waking moment consuming social media
in your hands because you have it
it's
in
readily available, and they want you to do it, and they build the algorithms to be addictive.
Right.
And that's, I think what he's talking about is that you can be overexposed to
like
that.
For
which
our days,
is a different kind of a world than we used to live in.
Like we used to live in, we didn't have any cell phones. We had a touchdown.
Right. Yeah. You want to make a phone call, you have to go home or find a payphone.
And we don't have cameras on our phone.
Yeah.
We don't have all that stuff. And if you want to listen to the music, you got to go home or in the radio.
Yeah, you listen to what's available on the radio, and you don't get to choose.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick.
Yeah.
Now, or you buy your album and you listen to that.
Now the kids has so much stuff in their hands and way too much consumed.
Yeah, and another way that social media impacts specifically the musical world is that often a song will become popular on TikTok as just a background or something like that.
It's true.
And then because people have heard that song in the background of a million TikToks, they're like, what's that song?
Or influencer.
Yeah, exactly. What's that song? And then the song becomes popular because it just got a million plays on a TikTok or something. And so definitely some amount of how people's musical tastes are formed has been completely shifted because of the social media.
Not just TikTok. Landscape. You got your what?
Yeah. No, it's
Facebook, and you got your
Pandora and Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube Music and all these different things.
Yeah, you have different platform now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's crazy.
And then you got your, like people like to, like, hey, let's go spread this news. You got your Twitter and you got your TikTok and there's a lot of platform out there. It's just.
Yeah. And all of it changes how people consume things.
Right.
And it's very different. Just like he's saying, it's very different than the world that Led Zeppelin existed in.
Right.
You found out about Led Zeppelin because somebody said, hey, listen to this record.
Right.
Or come over to my house and listen to this record.
Or it was on the radio.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear a Led Zeppelin song in the background of 18 different TikTok videos you watched.
Or it's on MTV. Yeah. For us, that was the only way for us to watch his MTV back then.
That was the very first music social media.
Yeah,
I think,
for us,
sort of. But it wasn't really social. That was just a traditional media. But
right.
Yeah, it's very different today than it once was, and he's got a very good point on it.
Yeah. Here we go.
Because it can be so unhealthy, so toxic.
It's dangerous. It's
so dangerous. How do you navigate it? Like, how do you remain healthy with your usage of social media?
You got to learn that even if you're in the biggest shitstorm you've ever seen, this is a very small portion of the world. Like, even if you get, I don't know, 20,000 bad tweets against you, you always have to think, what is 20,000 against 8 billion people in the world? It's just a small segment. And of course, like, people that agree on something, they hype each other. So maybe there's 1,000 people hating you, but then other people read it and they get affected. And so you have 2,000, but like 5 days after, everyone is gonna forget it. It's just like,
it's true.
Some people, they just wanna, also like some haters, they don't even hate you for real. It's just a topic. It's just something to talk about,
Exactly.
So like, for 1 hour, they fucking hate you. They write hateful comments, but 5 minutes later, they're not even thinking about it. So everything is relative.
Yeah.
And you also got to be like, we have the privilege to make art and to express ourselves in the way we want to.
Exactly.
Like I decide what to say in a song, and nobody can tell me.
There you go.
Like to do it in a different way. And I think that with this privilege, it comes also like, it comes that when you open yourself to the world, you cannot want that everybody understands.
Right. Of
like
course.
You have to take the risk. And I think that's why I say like you have to be ready to do it, because if you're not very sure of who you are, it's very easy to get affected by people comments and think that you're a piece of shit because people just say it. But people know like a very small percentage of your life, and they don't know like your human being part. At least you're not showing it. So it's very relative. You just gotta deal with it. And I think also that if it gets out of hands, you can answer. Like I'm not very pro with this, like be better, don't answer, don't lower yourself to their level. Why shouldn't I? Like, what am I? Who am I, Superman? No.
Right.
Like, does anybody pays me to deal with it? No. So like if you fucking exaggerate, I'll show you. Like I'm a human being, so I can get mad too.
Absolutely.
It's my right. Like,
he's right.
We don't have to be perfect all the time.
Of course not. Of course, you're human. That's what's beautiful about it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what resonates more, that you're actually a human. Yeah. You're not Superman. You're a human being.
I don't want to be Superman.
I know.
Like, too much responsibility.
Not for me. That's true. You have voiced in the past about being anti-drug. And that because it has to do with like your art and clarity. I mean, is that how do you still feel that way?
I mean, it's very like how do you say it? Like definitive to say anti-drugs.
Right.
Not anti-drugs.
Right.
Like I'm anti-killing yourself or either going. I'm anti-drugs
abuse
when you're working. Like if you go on stage and you're fucked up, it's very I think it's very disrespectful. Like to go on stage drunk or like so high that you cannot like even fucking connect or remember your song, or you're singing like shit because you're fucked up. I think it's very disrespectful because once again, there's people paying their money and saving their money to come see you. And it's not just the gig ticket. Sometimes they have to take planes and they have to pay for the hotel. And it's just so disrespectful to like
ruin their experience.
If the ticket it's $20, I'm sorry. It's $20. I'm paying $20 to see you at your fucking best possibility. I'm not paying to see the worst version of yourself. If you're gonna be the worst version of yourself, I'm gonna pay €1.
Yeah.
I'm paying for the full performance. Like if you go to a hotel and you pay $2,000 for a room, and then the bed it's dirty, you don't want to pay $2,000 anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's a service. And I think it's the same. People pay for it's not a service, but people pay to see something.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
They're paying for an experience.
Yeah, the full experience.
Yes.
And if you give them less than that, you should give them back the money.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's so
also,
sweet of him.
You know, we were talking before about overdoing drugs, not doing it in moderation. Unfortunately, you know, the 27 Club, some of the greatest musicians to ever live, Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison. You know, when you hear stories like that and how famous they were, and a lot of times they couldn't deal with the fame, does that resonate with you at all? Just how they were unable to deal with fame in a lot of cases?
I think that nowadays we have so many more tools to avoid it. Like mental health was not a thing at the time. Also, they knew that drugs weren't good for your health, but they didn't actually knew how bad they were. And especially like in the 80s, the industry was like wild.
Normalized it. Yeah, that was a different era. That was the norm.
Yeah. So it was, I think, the worst time to be a celebrity because the labels were fucking
expensing it.
Yeah, and like squeezing everything out of you.
Yeah.
And you had no chance like to go against it. Like you didn't have like a platform to say my label is killing me.
Right.
Like now you just do an Instagram story and everybody knows what's going on. So
That's true.
We have more tools,
Mrs.
and also I think there's some artists that are doing great thing to make people understand that we are humans. Like last year that Shawn Mendes canceled his tour, I was like, he's the bravest guy on earth.
Do you feel extra sort of pressure being Italian and being one of the very few Italian artists to have such global superstardom? Like I was trying to think, like what other Italian artists,
you have
like
to get into classical,
Bocelli or Pavarotti, you know,
exactly.
these legends, right? But very few. I mean, maybe on one hand, you know.
Yeah.
So, do you feel an added pressure to keep succeeding or to represent your country? Talk to me about that layer of pressure, responsibility.
Yeah, I have a lot of pride to be like one of the very few Italians to make it. That's something that makes me like very, very proud. I have the pressure, not really of representing Italy in the world, but more of not making Italy feel left out of the conversation, because I'm very, very close to my Italian heritage and to our Italian fans. Basically, everything started from there. So we will always be grateful for what happened, and so I have this pressure, not to get too American, you know.
I see.
At the same time, I think that what we're doing is good for Italy and good for other Italian artists. So I'm like, okay, whatever, we're gonna think about it. Now I'm working on it. So
I think by being so massive, that's incredible for your country. I mean, look at a band like U2. You know what I mean? They're one of the biggest, of course, Irish bands, but they've become so big that it's just like pop culture. It's popular. It's global. Would you consider living to America?
I'm sorry, guys. No, I
does not.
I could live here
some of the year.
Yeah.
Some of the year. That's the best balance.
Because like to write music, this is the best place in the world.
Right.
Like, the best producers are here, the best songwriters. But the vibe that Italy gives, it's unmatchable.
It's the
different.
best.
Yes,
I was just there earlier this summer.
It's your family's there.
Respect. Yeah, I get that. When you were dreaming about being a rock star, pop star, global superstar, and you've achieved so much now, is this what you imagined? Is this what you dreamed of?
Actually, it's a funny story because I was always been obsessed by, I have to have a song, a number one song, number one chart song.
Okay.
And all my life was based on this. I was obsessed. I had this engine inside of me. And then we actually got it with Beggin'. And when I got it, I was like, I was like, is this what I really wanted? Maybe not. Maybe I tricked my brain for so many years. And I had this moment of like, oh my God. So like, do I like my job? Do I want to keep doing it? Like what's my purpose with it? Like, do I want to just make music and whatever, how it goes?
Yeah.
That really hurted me in that moment and made me feel like lost. And I didn't know like, why am I making music? Like, what's my purpose? And I had several months where I went like numb, you know. I was just doing my tasks, you know, just go on stage, sing, go back home, you're done. I was not really thinking about it. I was not really into it because it was a way to protect myself from suffering, you know. If you have no expectations, if you're not involved, you cannot be disappointed, you know.
Right.
But then that numbness started to like transform into kind of depression and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I have to fix it. And I found out that actually songwriting is my real purpose. That's what I actually want to do. At one point in my career, I want to stop performing and just be a producer and a songwriter.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Do
you think that you would ever do any solo music?
Why not? Like, I think it's it could be a very healthy thing and a very destructive thing. It all, the only thing that matters is how you agree it with the band.
Yeah.
Because the band, it's always going to be what gave me everything I have. And if
platform.
I ever have the chance to do a solo project, I have to keep in my mind that it's thanks to everything I did with the band. That's my foundation. That's where I come from. Right. That's where I developed as an artist. And most of everything, it's 3 people that always supported me and always had my, like, literally had my back on stage, supporting me. And I always had like this shield of my band, my musicians. Like, if I fuck up, they're going to save me. If they fuck up, I'm going to save them.
Aww.
So that's a dynamic that really scares me thinking about it. Like, if one day I have a solo project, I'm going to be alone. Like, it's going to be all on me. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, being in a band means to, how do you say it? Compromise.
That's right.
To always compromise about everything. About how you dress, about what you say in the interviews, because we have to agree. I cannot say some shit that they do not agree with.
Right.
Yeah. And sharing your, like, trying to explain to someone what you wrote in your lyrics so they can talk about it too, and try to match your feelings with them feelings so you can write the right song, and like everything is a compromise.
You know, so many groups have exploded because one member wanted to go and be the solo guy.
Right.
And it just shatters those groups.
Right.
Right. And so his way of thinking is very healthy.
Right.
It's very
human.
Human, but it's very social for his band, right?
Well, because they started when they were younger.
Yeah.
And they were there from the get-go.
None of them would be where they are without the rest of them.
Exactly.
And for him to have that, you know, yes, I could do solo work. Yes. But I have to think that I can't have ever gotten there without them.
See how
that's the first thing he says is I have to remember that I can't be that guy unless I had them.
That's what humbleness and ground.
Yeah.
He's grounded, you know, and, you know, without them, he wouldn't be here where he is at today. And vice versa for them. So.
Yeah. That's a powerful perspective to maintain.
And that's what makes the cohesive between the group, is because they have that bond, that great relationship.
And trust.
Yeah.
That nobody's gonna go
right, unless they
talk it through or figure it out. You know, what are the implications of this? Yeah,
and that's what good about them, because, you know, they talk about it and they open it up for each other.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
And it's wonderful because 4 brains have more creativity than just one brain.
True.
And it's beautiful to share ideas and share music, and it's beautiful to have a music project shared with other people.
Yes.
But at the same time, I think that it comes a point where every artist should do his own thing and like saying, this is me.
Yeah.
And this is what I would do if I was alone, if everything was about me and thought about me.
It's cathartic.
Yeah. And I think also, like, if I do a solo project tomorrow, I think that it's going to help people understand more about the band, because I'm one of the 4 elements of the band. So if you see my full universe, you're going to be able to see my influences in the band and see what doesn't come from me. And actually, by knowing me better, you're gonna get to know the other 3 better. So I think it's very interesting, and I actually wish that one day we all do like a solo project 1 year, and then we come back together with like new ideas, new stimulations.
And you get to know each one of them that way.
Art should be always trying new things and never stopping in your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
When something gets too comfortable, it's not the right chair, you know?
Right.
You are such an inspiration.
So you always have to challenge yourself. So
see,
being alone scares me. Let's be alone. Like let's put myself in that uncomfortable situation, because it's the only environment where I can actually grow. And if I grow, my band can grow. If I stop developing, my band is going to stop developing.
That's very intellectual.
That's where the magic happens, actually, when you put yourself in the most uncomfortable position, you know?
When you take risks.
Exactly. All right, let's do deep cuts. Name a song, album, or artist that changed your life.
Recovery by James Arthur.
Ooh.
Excellent. What was your first concert?
Guns N' Roses in Rome.
Really? Wow. That's an incredible first concert.
Yeah, because they were it's funny because my mom and dad bought us like the Guitar Hero game.
Oh yeah.
And it was this version that was Aerosmith versus Guns N' Roses. So you had the whole catalog of the two bands. And I got obsessed with Aerosmith, and my brother got obsessed with Guns N' Roses.
So good.
So there was this inner fight between me and my brother. But then he won because we went to see Guns N' Roses. and not
it's sort of a win-win, though. Either one would have been amazing. And they're both performing now.
I was a bit pissed, you know, because it's my brother's favorite.
But still a pretty great first show. Yeah, oh my God, great. I love that. Ooh. If you were not a musician, what would you be?
I would love to be either a comedian, because I love doing impressions and shit, like accents and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or
can you do one for us?
What's okay? Please.
Yeah, put him on the spot.
And or either work in the like restaurant field. Mm-hmm. I love working like food and hosting and shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
What is your favorite meal or cuisine?
That's very hard. I think if I should decide something that I eat every day, would be pasta al pesto.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because it's easy, good. It's beautiful. Like that green, it's so beautiful, and the smell of basil, I love it.
It is gorgeous. Great choice. What is your most prized possession?
I have a football shirt that was worn by Maradona.
Oh wow!
On the pitch, and it's still dirty. It
was never cleaned. It
was never cleaned, and it was of the championship here.
Oh,
I don't even know the value of that thing. Oh, I keep it like hidden.
Is it like framed, or like how do you have it? Okay, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, that has no value. I think it's
that's invaluable.
Yeah,
incredible.
That's worth, I think, more than my house.
So that's pretty amazing. Yeah. That's awesome. What is something your fans would be surprised to learn about you?
I think there's this idea that I'm like a savage, a rocker, and like a player, and like that I hook up every day with a different girl.
He's so handsome, though.
It's not like that. Of course, it happened, but I'm very like I'm romantic and shit, and I tend to like get close to people. I don't like to have like shallow relationships. I don't like one night stands. You know, I always look for something into a person. Otherwise, I'm very not into it.
Oh, that's really beautiful. You like to connect. You like the connection. Yeah, I get that. That's awesome. If you can meet any celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be?
Can it be a celebrity?
Yes,
He's a celebrity, you know?
Of course.
Yeah. Leonardo da Vinci, hands down, without thinking.
Wow.
Who? Biggest genius of
all time.
History.
That's an incredible choice. Wow.
I'm obsessed.
I missed it.
Of course. Celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be?
Can it be a celebrity?
Yes,
He's a celebrity, you know?
Of course.
Yeah. Leonardo da Vinci, hands down, without thinking.
Wow.
Da Vinci.
Biggest genius of
all time.
History.
That's an incredible choice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's Italian.
Yeah. I understand. What's the greatest risk you've ever taken?
Probably singing Amy Winehouse a cappella at the Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
It was a pretty big risk.
It's a ballsy move.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's the first that comes in my mind.
But it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
That was a nice.
Yeah. It was a special tribute.
I was in a good shape that night. I have to admit it. When I look at the videos, I'm like,
we
you
gotta
were
go
on
check
fire.
that one out.
Yeah, we'll have to find
But it's
that.
good.
I love that you can look at yourself and be proud. That's important. That's really fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least, are there words you live by?
Oh my God. There's a few. I would say don't do to the others what you don't want to be done to you. I don't know if it's grammatically correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the golden rule.
Don't like act with people like you want people to act with you.
Exactly.
It's true.
And I think for you, it's be humble. I mean, you're very grounded and
don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
That's my motto.
I think that's a good
That's
motto.
my motto. I wake up every day and I think, don't be an asshole today.
Oh, Damiano, thank you so much. You are a gift.
such a
Really, you are a
Thank you.
light and you deserve all the success. And I feel like you're just getting started. I mean, I don't even know what's possible with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Wow, sitting down with Damiano was one of my favorite conversations. Just hearing his story and debunking the myths that they were an overnight sensation, just understanding that dedication early on, that non-negotiable practice, the busking to X Factor, then putting out 2 albums even before Eurovision, which prepared them for that success. And of course, their global takeover. They put in the work, they deserve it all. But my favorite part of this in-depth conversation with Damiano was learning what a beautiful, gracious person he is. He's just so grounded and humble. So in addition to his talent, he prioritizes being a good person. And that is the most important.
Don't be an asshole.
It is now time for my sound advice. New music you need to know on the Allison Hagendorf.
Okay.
Wow.
We'll go ahead and end it there now that we're done with the actual
Interviews.
portion.
Yeah.
She had a good point at the end there. Probably the most important thing we could have learned about him is that he wants to be human.
Correct.
He wants to be gracious. He wants to not be an asshole.
No.
He wants to be treated and to treat others that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most important things.
And he always wants to be respectful too, because he said, if you do drugs or if you get drunk, you're not respectful your audience.
Right.
He wants
respecting his craft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
And giving
on the weekend when he's not performing, he might do some drugs.
Yeah.
He didn't say he didn't.
Or drink.
He didn't say he wouldn't, but he's not going to come up on stage smashed out of his mind and give somebody a bad night.
That's very respectful right there. And also, he's like, yeah, they're buying tickets and they're going to a hotel and they're buying airfare and they're spending a lot of money just to watch us. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
That was incredible how he's very thoughtful of, what people, would do.
Yeah, he's conscious of.
He's very conscious.
Conscious of the cost.
Right.
It's not just what he's gonna make. It's much more than that.
Right.
It's their time, it's their effort, it's their attention, it's their money they put out.
Yeah.
Could be many things.
And
right?
not a lot of artists do that. It's very probably, you could see a handful of it. A lot of artists, think about their audience, love their audience, and also, shower them with the entertainment they deserve. I mean, as you could tell when they perform, they put their heart out.
Oh,
100%. And
yeah.
you can see the passion in his vocal and his facial expression. And that's why we love about MONESKIN.
Yeah, his English is very, very good.
Oh my gosh.
It's obviously not his first language,
No.
but it is very good, and he was very expressive of what he was trying to get across.
Right.
And he did a great job in this interview.
And he's very smart about the answers he has. He's very thoughtful and selective on certain things what he has to say, but he's very careful about it.
Yeah. Some of that probably has to do with, like he said, you can't go on an interview and say stuff that the rest of the group doesn't agree with.
Exactly.
You guys, you need to be in sync.
Consistent with
you need to be in line with what everybody else believes and
they have to be
thinks and
consistent with
feels.
their message too, you know, because there's younger generation too that looks up to them and he's trying to be a role model otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for tuning in to our channel. Don't forget to give you love and support to MONESKIN and also Allison. I can't pronounce her name. Hagendorf. Check her channel and give her support. Thank you for loving our channel, music channel, liking our videos to get the algorithm going. Thank you for your love and your support to our channel. We really appreciate you. Thank you for liking our music videos to get the algorithm going. Share it with your friends and family. Thank you for subscribing to our small mighty channel to help us grow to 50K. We're so close, guys. Thank you again, and see you in the next video.